Hey guys, hey. So we are here, quite literally streaming on YouTube and TikTok. This is also going to be uploaded to the podcast. So if you're listening to the podcast, howdy do. But let's get into it.
So come on in, grab your popcorn, take your shoes off, sit back, and let's enjoy. Welcome to Chat with KST. Before we jump into this video, all views expressed in this video is my opinion and not to be taken as facts. Now let's enjoy the show.
All right. So all these opinions are mine. All right. So basically, we kind of see what's going on with these celebs. And after seeing what's been going on with these celebs, we kind of dissect it for ourselves and, add our 2 cents in, as my family would say. Now, let's get into this. So first we have this whole TI situation, and we're quite literally going to jump into it. So remember TI, like the other day, this clip went viral, and it was like the middle of his head was like kind of gone. Of course, he had the dreads, but they looked a little bit spaced out, and everyone was trying to like talk about Ti. Well, this is what his response is. Let's listen.
Man,
what was going on this chat?
The devil is a lie.
Yeah, because I'm looking, I don't see.
The devil is a lie.
That thing looked crazy on
They
TV,
were laughing, and then they tried to slow walk
laugh.
you into it.
Oh, no. I mean,
What did you think when you seen that video?
I went to the mirror.
Is this really me? Hold on.
Wait a minute.
It's all about the angles. I was like, oh my God.
It's comedy. I laugh. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be funny if it were true.
If you had alopecia, no,
it wouldn't be funny then. But I just laughed and I ain't even respond to it. I just took my hat off and walked around.
I know, right?
I was trying to be easy
because I just saw you just a few weeks ago, and I was like, didn't I say that? Everybody like, no, I was like, oh, is this real? Because I just saw
the hair.
Man,
what was going on this chat?
But I don't remember seeing all that.
Man, that's not my head of hair.
They came up with all
they photoshopped
that. Well,
yeah,
maybe they be pulling too hard on this string.
Yeah, he started talking about, man, he getting them twisted too hard. As you could tell, he take care of it, just getting them twisted too hard.
Somebody talking about them braids look like little ornaments hanging off his head. I said, look, man.
Now, see, but the thing is, so I mean, in the age of technology, everybody keep this phone in their hand, and this is where you depend on to get your news. But you have to use discernment. The words say use discernment.
Okay.
You understand? And discernment would say that the person that I've grown to know over these 25 years, the person that I've grown to know as Tip, I can't see him moving around.
I can't see it.
In the house, let alone.
But I don't remember seeing all that.
Man.
All right. So first of all, this man said the devil is a liar. No. The devil Ti has nothing to do with whatever is going on in the middle of the head. Now, Ti said it wasn't him. So if it's not him, we're going to have to just say, all right, Ti, it's not you. It's Photoshop, shopped, whatever. However, if I knew that this thing was essentially photoshopped of me, I would have definitely been like, look at the middle of my hair. Bring the camera, look at my hair. But you didn't do that. You didn't have it out this time. You had it rolled back, and you've been wearing it in updos. So I don't know. Do you guys think that bald spot in the middle of, or the alopecia that's in the middle of Ti's head is like real? I mean, like, let's think about it, right? Because I went to cosmetology school, and alopecia is not something that we should essentially laugh about. So I feel like a lot of people struggle with this, and I don't know, like, I just feel like denying it is the epitome of it wasn't me. She caught me on the counter. It wasn't me. She saw me banging on the sofa. It wasn't me. I don't know. I just feel like own up to it and talk about the struggles of how you're dealing with it, whether it's with hair transplant or whatever. Because honestly, that what is it? Is it Turkey? I think all the girlies and guys have been going to. So what some of the guys do is they'll put the little lace wig on the top of their head, like glue it down. And for the ones who probably perhaps can't afford the Turkey trip, but they said hair transplants and stuff like that is pretty cheap in Turkey. So I don't know. I just feel like it could have been a moment to just say, like we get older, excuse me, things do happen, just lean into it, right? Not like a utter denial, but
You don't say
if it wasn't him, it wasn't him.
like this. You know what I'm saying? And if that were true, then this ain't the person that I've grown to know. You understand?
Right.
You don't say.
All right, so I'm gonna mute the music, but we can all hear "No One in the Corner Got a Swagger Like Us." That is T.I.'s song. So let's look at this. The DJ hands him a hat and says, "Hey, brother, put this on." And he quite literally puts it on. And then he walks off and do that T.I. gangsta walk that T.I. does. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think it's T.I.? Tell me what you guys think with this whole alopecia thing. Again, I feel like a lot of times celebrities, when something is revealed, right, about celebrities and their imperfections, and it's been brought to light that they're not the perfect sparkly Hollywood diamond that they've portrayed, I think their immediate response to it is to say, hey, like, that's not true, that's not a lie, I mean, that's not true, like, that's not me, that's AI. But I do think that sometimes just leaning into it and being authentic about what your experiences are would be a better connection to the people that you have as fans, but also it's you just kind of being real, right? But I mean, look, if he don't want to talk about it, then we gonna move on. All right. Okay, so TikTok, this long fight as it relates to TikTok. It's TikTok is banned, TikTok is not banned, TikTok is Chinese company, and TikTok is being all these different rumors. They're trying to spy on us in China by using TikTok and all these different things. So it's finally been settled. According to the Neighborhood Talk, TikTok reportedly signs deal to sell its US entity to American investor group after years long battle. So now the Americans have vested interest, right? So I just feel like, like, I feel like Donald Trump started it to kind of push them into this direction. But here we are now. TikTok is fun. I like TikTok because I feel like you have like Instagram, and I was never one of those Instagram baddies or somebody who, like, portrayed this lifestyle of like a hot girl hottie, nails done, hair done, everything did every single day. So Instagram was never the app for me. You know what I mean? I feel like I've leaned into TikTok because TikTok, I got a bonnet on and I got a think piece. I'm coming on TikTok with it. If I got to, like, it doesn't matter. Nails done, hair not done, whatever. I got a think piece. I'm coming on TikTok and I'm putting my face like, hey guys. And you just feel this authenticity as it relates to TikTok because it's not just you alone embarrassing yourself on this internet, right? It's everyone falling down, getting back up, falling down and getting back up. People not living these polished lifestyles. It's not about the happy-go-lucky couple. It's not about, you know, um couple goals. It's actually about story times and telling you who the hell did I marry? 50-part series. You know what I mean? So I just feel like TikTok has definitely been a place where I've been able to kind of resonate with. So happy that they are able to get this TikTok fiasco settled. All right. So sorry, I got a comment on something, but Notori. Now, remember, Notori was a part of the Cheetah Girls, right? Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters. However, she was not a part of the actual Cheetah Girls movie, and she sat down and she discussed how she felt about this. So let's kind of hear it. Then Notori, if you guys don't know, was Ghost wife in Power. So everybody know Power, everybody know Ghost, and his wife is who Notori is. The girl who plays Little Kim in the Biggie movie.
Yeah, just did an interview talking about that on Page 6 Radio.
Yeah, so so because of the whole split up, that's why?
No, we weren't split up. They X'd me out of the deal before I was even kicked out of the group.
Wow.
I never knew. I mean, I knew that we were offered in talks, and they went to the meeting without me, and then I found out that they did the deal without me, and then that like maybe 2 months later, I was X'd out of the
Which
group.
is obviously hurtful because this was supposed to be a huge deal that was for
that took
y'all.
me years to get over. I was in Seton Hall University, a struggling broke college student driving a Thunderbird. I had a Ford Thunderbird, 1997. That was the only car I could afford. My grandmother gave me $3,000 because I didn't have enough money to buy a car. And I was in a girl group that sold platinum.
Everyone knew
1.6 million. Yeah. I'm walking around Seton Hall. They're like, "Oh, I love your video, TRL. I just saw you on TRL." And literally in my little Thunderbird, I'll never forget, just realizing when I saw, they was like, "Oh, you saw Cheetah Girls? Aren't you supposed? Why weren't you in that?" And I was just thinking I was supposed to be, but what's supposed to is not really even true. I realized what was for me would be what I got. What was for me was to play Little Kim in a tourist.
I know, that's right.
What was for me was to book Tasha in Power. What was for me is to be able to do a movie like Eric Jerome Dickey's Friends and Lovers. What's for you is for you. I was mad at that time, but I'm like, God knew what he was doing. He protected me.
So honestly, when I was watching, when I saw that Notori had spoken about this whole Cheetah Girls thing, I was just like, girl, like we are well, like my initial response, of course, was like, we are well past this. Like, you've been the most successful in acting wise, I feel like, as it relates to the Cheetah Girls duo. I mean, probably with the exception of Raven, but I don't really quite know about that because I feel like Power was a really big deal for her. But I feel like you've mounted to this success. So why should we harp on the past? But then, watching this clip, it just shows me that, we all do come from somewhere, right? And because we all do come from somewhere, it doesn't, like, not because we've become these success stories, it doesn't mean that the trauma doesn't still there, it doesn't exist, or the past still doesn't exist. And I think she was able to address it in a very beautiful way. It wasn't condescending to the other people who were in Cheetah Girls, but it's like, yeah, I leveled up. It was the cute, like, I leveled up, and what wasn't meant for me wasn't meant for me. And I feel like, the what they say, the stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone. And I feel like she's been doing her thing. So I love to see her, because I know once I see her on screen, it's the show, movie, whatever it is, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. So let's talk about this whole executive order that has been signed by Donald Trump to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug.
Pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain. For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, incurable diseases, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, neurological problems, and more, including numerous veterans with service-related injuries, and older Americans who live with chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality of life. Today, I'm pleased to announce that I will be.
All right. So basically, he's saying, "Hey, look, I've declassified the I've reclassified the marijuana as a less dangerous drug, and this is something that has been a long time coming because there are people who do need these drugs medicinally. Excuse me. Now, I haven't personally read this executive order. I do feel like if you are going to reclassify, and if we do have some stoners in the room, please don't take offense to this. But I feel like if you're going to do it for the purpose of saying that, you want marijuana to be accessible to the people who need it health wise, then I do think that that could have been the step that you take instead of just saying, okay, well, you know what, marijuana is a less dangerous drug. And I do get that, it shouldn't be the same class as heroin, because heroin I do feel like is a way stronger drug. However, I can't help to shake the feeling that the reclassification of marijuana has something to do with, I don't want to get too hokey pokey or too conspiracy like, but I feel like since they have legalized marijuana, there have been so many different people going through these mental health things, these mental health psychosis, schizophrenia, paranoia. And like, I'm not saying marijuana is bad to the stoners. I'm just saying, if marijuana isn't bad, then what the hell is causing all these mental health stuff, right? And what the hell are y'all putting in this marijuana? Is the question that I have to ask. And I just feel like there has been an influx of people going through different mental health things as it relates to their them smoking marijuana, and there has been correlations to marijuana smoking and psychosis. There has been correlation between marijuana smoking and the shrinkage of the brain. There have been, these studies that have been done by neurologists that kind of expose that as callous as we would want to treat marijuana, it is really something that is dangerous. And I think that because Trump, well, I don't want to say that, I don't want to make no accusations, but maybe because we the ones who could consume it, he's like, all right, go ahead, have it. But I don't know. I don't agree with this because I just feel like now we have our kids going to get it at the corner store, going to get it at the deli. It's like going to get like a shandy or something, and I just feel like I don't really like that. And again, I know that we have our stoners who are going to be like, but that don't happen to me. I've been smoking for 20, 30 years. Okay, you are a part of the exception, and I'm glad that it doesn't happen to you. But there are people in the hospital who are going through this psychosis because of it. There have been studies proven that your brain shrink because of it. So I don't feel like because it's not exclusive to your experience that it's not the general experience of others. But anyway, moving along. All right. So let's talk about the sexy red Glorilla thing, right? So this whole sexy red and Glorilla thing started when Glorilla posted a clip of her and her boyfriend, and sexy red like kind of jumped into the comments and said something. I'm trying to see if I can find exactly what she said. Oh, here it is. She was like, let's be sister wives. And everybody, the fans, they ran with that. Like, like, oh my God, like, you guys are this, you guys are that. And I just feel like, come on, guys, like, she was being, humorous. And I don't think that Glorilla, knowing who she is, ain't gonna leave her man and give and share him for nobody. You know what I mean? So I just feel like they were just definitely joking around, and this wasn't something to be taken seriously. Shout out to Glorilla and her boyfriend because she's been successful. So it's like, it's good to see that with her success, she does have a partner on her hand. But anyway, moving on from Glorilla and Sexy. Now, real quick, have you guys been able to see the stream with Chrisean Rock and Ryan Garcia where they were like sparring and things of that nature? I did post it, I think, on both platforms, but it was a real cutesy moment, right? To see them, box, and that Ryan Garcia, he boxes, and Chrisean Rock, she liked to give it up with the hands. So it was a really good moment to see that their interaction. I felt like there was a lot of chemistry there, especially like when he like held on to her son. I feel like he like, even if there wasn't anything romantic behind it, I feel like he approached the situation with Chrisean with respect, despite all that is being said about her. We all see the things that have been said about her online. We all see the different things that have been done and what she does. So I think that it would be easy for a guy to be like, oh, well, this guy treats you that way. This person treats you that way. So when you come here, I'm gonna treat you just how you let everybody treat you. And Ryan Garcia did not take that approach. He actually had an abundance of respect for Chrisean Rock, and I really appreciated it. And I thought they had a little something, a little romantic chemistry with the way that he held her. But nonetheless, after the fact, I thought it was like, okay, maybe this chemistry was like a little bit one-sided. But Chrisean goes on to her Twitter platform and said Ryan Garcia need to be the new Superman in the new Superman movie, playing Superman. The face card is valid. I can't unsee it, is what she says. And I'm like, if shooting your shot from the seats was a person, definitely cutesy, cutesy, cutesy. She didn't do too much. And now she's talking about going back to school and definitely getting into boxing as she is going into school. And I feel like, girl, yes, like, I love this for you. Like, get back to that Chrisean that you were before the baddies, before the blue faces, before all of this mess. Because Chrisean, I feel like I remember I saw her on like one of these game shows, like and she like did the whole full course, jumping, hopping, skipping, and I'm like, girl, you did all of that, and then she met Blueface, and yeah. Anyway, speaking of Blueface, let's talk about Blueface. So Blueface says that Keke Palmer is his favorite actress. Now, there is supposed to be some alleged sit down between Blueface and Keke Palmer. You guys know Keke, she does not judge. She sits down with anyone. She talks to anyone. She's not going to disrespect people, and she does have a platform, and she is, of course, building that platform. So if this guy Blueface has just come out of jail and he is doing all these different sit down, why not lend her platform to him for that sit down? So there is this alleged interview that is supposed to come out with Blueface and Keke Palmer. Now, I must say, even though Blueface is saying that Keke Palmer is his favorite actress, some of the fans aren't liking the fact that they feel like Keke Palmer is an actress and she's Hollywood, and how can she lend herself to Blueface in a way? And I just feel like, the fans who are saying that, I do think that that is a bit judgmental, right? I feel like it doesn't matter if you are the top of the top guy. I don't care if you're Bill Gates. I don't care who you are. If you feel like you want to work with someone or you want to lend yourself to someone and their experiences, then never feel like you're better or in a better position than them. So you're not going to do that. You know what I mean? I feel like when fans say, oh, Keke Palmer shouldn't do this or Keke Palmer shouldn't do that with Blueface, it makes me think of like people who would treat the executive with all this kindness, but the waitress with a lot of disrespect. Oh, I don't want this and all of that. I just feel like, no, however you treat people in like that have essentially had this materialistic success should be the same way that you treat everyone, right? And I do get it. Blueface does come with a lot, but I think Keke, being in an industry for such a long time, she knows how to navigate these situations. So if that interview does drop, I look forward to seeing it. And congrats are in order for Mariah the Scientist on her engagement with Young Thug. Now, we all saw it, right? And I was like, this is a repeat of Cardi B and Offset, like on stage in the middle of the crowd, just like out there. And I was like, okay, I like this. I like this for you. I don't know. A lot of people have been saying, he's not the most faithful. He have all these kids. She may be allegedly pregnant. Like, people have been saying a lot of things about this relationship. Now, my take on it is Mariah the Scientist must have saw something in Young Thug for her to do that bid with him. Cause girlies ain't just doing a bid with you and they don't see some kind of potential. They don't see some kind of something. So and she knows what Young Thug comes with the children, with all these different things. So if she chooses to now sign on to that, in the words of one of my closest friends, if you like it, I love it. Because we like, this is what girlies go through every day. Like, we meet a guy, we fall head over heels with them for them, and we go in. We go in with our rose-colored glasses on, and we just delve into it. And I don't feel like Mariah the Scientist is going to lose from this situation. I do think that her being associated with young Thug, even though people may disagree with it romantically, I do think that it has helped out her career in a little bit of a way with bringing more attention to who she is. So even if the relationship don't work out, this match, and I say, would have helped her career to elevate in some sort of area, with allowing fans that she may not have been exposed to before to now see her because of her association with Young Thug. Now, what happened behind those streets? I said those streets. What happened behind those sheets? What happened as it relates to this kid, that kid, or whatever Young Thug got going over there? Mariah the Scientist seems like she is ready to sign up for it all. So congrats to her and Young Thug. And we already talked about this Trump and TikTok situation. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, do you see what Carlissa looked like? This was okay. So Blueface's mom, there were these pics. I don't know if you guys seen it, but there were these pics that resurfaced on the internet of Blueface's mom when she was younger. And I'm like, clocking, you was that baddie. You was the 10. You was the baddie with all your baddie friends. So I do feel like Carlissa, I think she's still beautiful today. However, I feel like she was definitely one of those, hot girls when she was growing up, right? And I love it. I love to see it. So Carlissa now, I just feel like she had, like, and we all get to see it, right? Where I feel like the successful child, which in this case is Blueface, and the parent now, and I know you probably don't like this, but riding the coattail of that successful child. And I feel like Carlissa, sometimes she just needs to kind of stay out of Blueface and stuff. I get it, you're mommy and you want the best for your child and things of that nature. But sometimes it is, and I don't know, this is just my personal take. If I do need to reprimand my child, if I do need to talk to my child about who he is, who she is, who they're dating, I would do that in private. There's no need for me to go online and expose your girlfriend, pick sides between your baby mama publicly, do all these different things. I feel like you just got to sit back a little bit, right? And I don't know. Like, let me know if I'm wrong with this take, but that's just how I feel, right? Like, if like my daughter, like if she becomes successful and she becomes some multimillionaire, she like, no, I'm playing the bet. Now it's different if, let's say, I have an amazing radio show and I've been doing this for 10, 20 years or whatever, and she becomes successful too. So then I guess we will both exist in our own element. But let's say I continue to work my 9 to 5, right? And I never become successful, and my daughter becomes some crazy, crazy successful person, famous person, or whatever. I feel like it would be an overstep for me to involve myself in her public stuff. I do feel like parenting is about allowing your child to exist, and I feel like sometimes Carlos does past that boundary a little bit. But it's not just her. I feel like not a lot. Some of the moms of these famous people, they feel like they're entitled to their children's fame. And it's just like, no, your child is famous. You support your child from the back. And if your child needs you to be somewhere, they'd be like, hey, mom, be this place. But if that's not asked of you, there's no reason for you to go on the internet and do these things. That even reminds me of Tokyo Tony. I think at Tokyo Tony, she went live and was talking all crazy to Black China. Like I feel like stuff like that is just, it's just wrong on so many levels. So again, this is not to bash Carlissa, because again, she was the baddest. She was a 10 back in the days, and still now. I just feel like we need to kind of revisit our boundaries and reestablish them. Speaking of Blueface, I've been talking about Blueface a lot. I guess he has been making his rounds as it relates to him being out of jail. He is catching up. He's like, look, I've been missing. I've been off the scenes. So here I am, from streamer to podcast to this to that. And, I like it. But let's see what he had to say. According to Neighborhood Talk, y'all check phones. Blueface says DDG is tripping for not going through his girl's phone. I need to know my girl's credit score. Oh my God.
No, it's working, but you said you ain't going through your girl's phone?
Yeah.
Tripping, brother.
You go through phones?
Hell yeah, we having too much of this shit. Phone check. Be homies. Baby, let me see your phone. Throw it, nigga. Phone check. Then you gotta, baby. Little baby acting, she let niggas know weird shit. Telling them your dick small type of shit, you feel me?
Yeah.
You know that shit. Not all of them.
Yeah.
But you know that one. I'm all in her shit. I'm in her ass, her phone, pussy, earlobe, everything. I'm in there. I need to know my bitch credit score. Feel me? Feel me? She can't go get that new Honda. What she gonna do with me?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Please, girlies, do not take relationship advice from Blueface. And guys, please don't do that as well. I just feel like I do have a difference of opinion. I know that there are certain men that they do want to be in all of it. They want to know everything. They want to see it. They want to know it. They want to hear it. Who you texting? Oh, what she said, what he said. And then you have him going here with your friends, and you guys are all going. And I just like doing all this extra shit. I just feel like it becomes too enmeshed. And when things become too enmeshed, then when you and him break up, you still upset that he's talking to your friend. Like, no. When you're dating a guy, and this is just my opinion, you come together with that person and you have your relationship, you have your bond, and you cherish it. You keep what you need to keep between you and your partner, and don't go spreading it with everybody else, family and friends, because then they're gonna hate him. Just keep your shit between you and your boyfriend. And then when you do have your friendships and things of that nature, you visit those friendships and you keep those things separate. No need to have your man involved in everything. So he doesn't need to see everything that's going on your phone. Can I see everything that's going on in your phone? Matter of fact, I don't even want to see your phone, because if I have to be with a guy that I have to check his phone constantly, what am I with you for? That phone should be able to be seated there, up there, down there, and I won't even bat an eye, because I know the person that I'm with. So the fact that I got to check your phone, it's like doing a colon cleanse, like up somebody's behind. Like, no, like we don't have to do that. We can definitely establish boundaries. And if I do feel like there is something that is uncomfortable and things of that nature, then I address that. And if it continues, then if I decide whether I want to put up with it or if I want to walk away. I don't feel like I need to play investigator, detective gadget every single day just to find out what's in your phone. You know what I mean? So I don't really agree with Blueface. Yeah.
I've never been.
OMG. Let's get into this topic. This topic of Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, and Milagro Cooper. We're going to get into it. And I'm going to start off with this interview that Tory Lanez recently did. Now, according to NBC News, this is the first interview that Tory Lanez has done since being locked up. I don't believe so because I heard him on a podcast doing an interview with some guys before. So I don't think this is his first. Maybe it's his first visual interview. But nonetheless, this is what Tory Lanez has to say as it relates to the predicament that he's in. And then, of course, I'll give my commentary after that.
Violence towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that. But you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one. I never had one. And I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is completely incorrect and it's wrong.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial. Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raise questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
What has life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully, I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally, I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. I almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
I think that I wouldn't say something directly to her. I would like that moment to happen in person. We've both gone through a lot. There's this connotation that like I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I genuinely passed that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And when I talk about my case, I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that. I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the evidence and ask if this was fair.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom.
That's right. His legal team has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
All right. Chloe Malas for us. Chloe, thank you.
All right. So that was the most recent interview that Tory Lanez have done. Now, my take on this whole Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion is, as it relates to the shooting of 2020, it is very hard for anyone on this planet who was not there that night to know what actually happened. I feel like Megan Thee Stallion and her team has definitely done a great job with saying, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. I also feel like Tory Lanez and his team has done a really great job to contradict every single thing that Megan has said. So it's like this tit for tat. And I feel like it would really be unfair for me to say, okay, well, Megan was indeed shot. But it would also be unfair for me to say that Tory Lanez did not shoot her, because it's just been so much information that has been convoluted into this mess, and it's all about be on my side, believe me, believe that. And I do understand that there was a conviction in this case and things of that nature. However, we're talking court of public opinion here. Right. So that's just my opinion. I can't definitively say that that's what happened that night, but I can't not say that that's what happened that night. Now, let's move on a little bit, because I have been keeping up with the Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and Milagro Cooper situation. Now, I feel like the way he has articulated himself in this very interview is not the same way that he articulated himself when he was given the opportunity to bring forth a deposition in the Milagro case. I heard rumors where he said SMD in that deposition, and he said a lot of other unflattering things, right? So I just feel like, yes, I do get that Tory Lanez does want this pardon, so he's going to portray this good guy persona, and good luck to him, right? I just feel like it's hard to support him when he doesn't support the people that have been there for him. This young lady, Milagro Cooper, has literally put her platform, put everything on the line for Tory Lanez. And it wasn't about Tory Lanez. It was about, standing for what she believed in her opinions. And to see the way the family, when they needed her assistance and needed her to be a voice, not essentially for Tory Lanez, but a supportive voice, then they leaned into her. They were texting her. They were trying to give her these little gifts, these Zelle requests or these Zells or whatever the case may be. And of course, I'm not conflating those things to be payoffs for Milagro Cooper saying what she said about Tory Lanez. What I am saying is essentially, when she was doing something that benefited you, then you supported her. When she needed your help, you weren't there. I remember looking at, and if you guys want to know like a breakdown of this lawsuit between Megan Thee Stallion and Milagro Cooper, a great person, and I promise you, every night I have my popcorn turning on Armand Wiggins, because he indeed broke it down and was very unbiased as it relates to this, right? And if you don't know who Armand Wiggins is, he is the same guy who did the Diddy coverage and baby oil this, baby oil that, right? So that guy. And he covered this case. And I remember verbatim, he basically said, and I don't remember what his exact words is, but I remember him saying something along the lines of, the least you could have done for Milagro Cooper in that situation is be truthful and say, hey, I did not pay this person, but you had so much disregard for someone who has helped you out, who has been there for you, the only person who has been there for you. And I just feel like it's hard for me to even support Tory. Not saying that I want a miscarriage of justice to continue. If he's not guilty, then don't go ahead, don't be guilty. However, it was very disheartening to see the way he carried on in court, and it wasn't something that I was there for. It was when the information was brought back through Armand Wiggins. It was just like, that's how you guys conducted yourself. You know, like even with the attorneys, the first set of attorneys she had gotten, and all of that other stuff, and then her dad, and then the father, the dad, and stuff like that, and the way that all these people conducted themselves, like, it was as if they didn't understand that Megan Thee Stallion was trying to take this young lady for millions, for literally defending you. You know what I mean? So, and get it, he wants his pardon. God, if he is innocent, please grant him his pardon. We pray, amen. But if he's not innocent, then I think you got about 8 more years in there, bud. And that's just my take on it. And I'm not gonna say, oh well, he is or he isn't. I'm leaving it up to God at this point, because only God and them people in that car that night really knows what happened. It was Kelsey, it was Tori, it was Meg, it was Glass. What the fuck was it? What was it? And if I can't like definitively say that's what it is, I gotta leave it up to God, and I'm gonna move the hell on, because Megan Thee Stallion likes to hand out lawsuits. Anyway, okay, here I am continuing. So I had another topic to talk about as it relates to this Megan Thee Stallion, Milagro Cooper. I guess, you know, we did put it together so that we can talk about both together. So Megan Thee Stallion, another thing I really wanted to say, and again, this is just my opinion from keeping up with everything. Megan Thee Stallion, has filed an executive order to basically have this media personality, Milagro Cooper, to kind of like shut her up, like shut up about everything that went on in court, shut up about everything that you're saying about me, right? Don't cyber bully me, don't cyber stalk me. And you know what? Since the case have ended, it sounds to me like what Megan Thee Stallion is saying, from what I'm hearing, is that Milagro has like been continuing to cyber bully her. And I'm like, no, because I've been tuned into Milagro to hear what the hell she says. And none of what she has said since the court has been cyberbullying, cyber stalking. She did her interview with Tasha K. Really well done interview. Nothing was of that kind that you alleged in in this lawsuit. And I want to say alleged, and in my opinion, please, because at the end of the day, it's like, if you're going to misconstrue every single thing this young lady do, then it makes me question your integrity, Megan Thee Stallion. And that's just my take on it. Because if I'm able to observe and see that the sky is blue, and you're going to tell me, no, the sky is pink, I'm gonna be like, can you really see? Because I was watching, and I feel like essentially that's what's been going on. But again, I don't even want to stay on this topic, because yeah, we gonna skedaddle on. Okay, so on to a more lighter topic. Charlemagne the God, he made the cover of Forbes, And I really liked to see it. I was just like, okay, Charlotte, I love it. Because there were these speculations that Charlemagne wasn't going to continue his contract on the Breakfast Club. And wham bam, thank you, man. He threw out that contract like 200 mil for the next 5 years. And I feel like he put that contract on that table and was like, what was y'all saying now? Y'all said I wasn't going to do what? And congrats to him, right? Because I feel like for me personally, when someone is successful and leveling up, I'm going to definitely always congratulate them and wish them, the best on their journey. Charlemagne has been on the Breakfast Club for years now and, doing the donkey of the day, doing all these different things. And I just feel like, like, if you like him, you tune into him. And if you don't, you don't. Like, if I'm going into work, I work from home. But if I'm going into work on my in office day, and I feel like I don't want to listen to gospel today, I want to listen to radio, then I'll turn on the Breakfast Club and I'll listen to Donkey of the Day, I'll listen to Jess, I'll listen to Lauren, I'll listen to them over there. So it's a big win for Charlemagne the God. And also I heard that they are also going over to Netflix for their visuals. I feel like this is the big upgrade for them and for a lot of people to kind of get to like see them, right? Because they're just in New York in the morning time. And if you're not driving in your car or like watching them on TikTok, then you don't really get into what they're saying and stuff like that. So good luck to these guys on their journey with the Netflix and signing $1 million contracts. The only thing I do have to say, because again, I keep my ears to the ground as it relates to this blogging stuff and what people are saying in the media. I just hope that Charlemagne, Jess Hilarious, Lauren LaRosa, and DJ Envy can understand that the power that comes with the mic that they've had for all these different years is upgraded to an entirely new level as it relates to this Netflix collab. So please, I just would advise them, if they ever do hear this, wield that power rightfully. Don't be biased because you don't like someone. Don't be biased because you don't agree with someone. Don't be biased because you may be friends with this person, but you're not friends with that one. So you're going to wield your power and speak negatively about a situation. And I'm not saying that this is what they're doing. I'm just saying I've heard some stuff. Again, I be listening to the media stuff and sometimes even when I do tune into them, and like I remember, all right, so let me give you guys an example because I don't like when people throw things out and don't give examples. Like if you call me a selfish B word, how am I a selfish B word? Give me an example. So an example of this would be the Nicki Minaj thing, right? I get it. They've had beef from Nicki Minaj for a very long time. So I feel like every single time they speak on her, their coverage of her has always been this underlying tone of negativity. And that's just the one that I can really think of right now. And a specific example was when Jess Hilarious had literally, after everyone advocated for Jess to be on the Breakfast Club, shortly after she reported that Nicki Minaj's Pink Print 2 tour was not sold out. They were saying like, they're making these ads or lowering the ticket price. She's like kind of misconstrued something like to say that Nicki Minaj wasn't selling. And I think we all saw that Nicki Minaj sold. She sold so much so that she did that shit twice. So I just feel like if you're going to do this and have this power, wield it correctly. Because what I've learned, Ebro's an example, based on what I've been hearing on the streets, when you don't wield this power correctly, karma will come. And
I wanted to go back.
Anyway, all right. So this is a clip from Breakfast Club. Now I know that the Breakfast Club, they definitely copyright stuff. And they be like, oh, don't play our shit on your platform. So I'm not going to play this here. However, I'm going to give you guys the take as to what's been going on with the Breakfast Club and this Papoose and and this Clarissa situation. So basically, Papoose and his new girlfriend of a year and a half, Clarissa, sits down at the Breakfast Club. When they sit down, Excuse me. And it's always the messy stuff that goes viral. So let me just point that out, because this interview could have had a lot of other constructive things, but this is the part that went viral. There was a question that was posed to Papoose. Papoose, what really happened between you and Remy Ma? Like, were you really cheating? Those allegations are out there. Like, what really is going on there? Now, let's address the question first. Number one, read the room. Papoose is there with his new girlfriend. So there's no reason to bring up his ex-girlfriend in this situation. However, trying to look at the situation from both sides, Papoose don't do the Breakfast Club enough. And all we have known from Papoose is that he is a great rapper and he loved him some Remy Ma. They were the epitome of Black love. So can I understand how the question surfaced? Absolutely. But can I understand how the question may be a little bit disrespectful? Absolutely. Now, in this, Papoose was answering and he was just like, hey, like, and again, I can't play the clip because Breakfast Club, they will copyright and I'm streaming from YouTube, they will copyright it. So, and like, I'd have to delete it. Like, it's the whole shit. So that's why I'm giving you guys the rundown. But basically, Papoose is like, you guys, and his response was like, hey, you know that I essentially held Remy Ma down. You guys saw me hold Remy Ma down. And you saw me going back and forth from the prison, moving closer to the prison just to be with her. And ain't never been no cheating rumors. So now all of a sudden that we've broken up, and this is essentially what he's saying, and it's been brought to the light that she's cheating. Now all of a sudden she want to project that shit on me, but you ain't never heard. Let me fix this thing on TikTok real quick because I am also on TikTok. But he's basically saying that you ain't never heard no cheating rumors from me. When she was behind bars, I ain't cheat. Now that she out, I'm actually cheat. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And, you know, they were like kind of still trying to probe, you know, the questions about Remy Ma. Now, Clarissa, his girlfriend, we all know she's a boxer. She got a little aggression. So she speaks up. She's not a demure chick. She's not one of those. She's going to speak up. Clarissa's like, look, their relationship is over. They are getting a divorce. It does take some time. And you know what? Me and Papoose have been together for 1.5 years. So we ain't even talking about that. And I feel like this, in a way, is something that we as women do. And I feel like because your feelings may be hurt, and I feel like if we look into it, you don't feel secure enough in your spot. You feel like you can't speak about this man's past. Let the man speak. We are in an interview. We know that everybody's gonna see this. Everybody's gonna hear this. Let Papoose speak. The question was directed to him about Remy Ma. This is the woman that he has been married to, the woman that he has been there for since she's been in jail. So to think in your mind that whatever they had or whatever is just completely dead and gone because you have now entered into his life, I think that is just delusion, and you have to allow the man to speak. They asked Papoose a question, let him answer. Matter of fact, if you let your nigga, sorry, excuse my language because I don't want to be cussing on this mic, but if you let your partner Papoose answer, then an intuitive person would have been like, depending on how this guy answered this question, it's going to tell me all I need to know. So allow him to speak. No need to shut it down, or you know what I mean? So I just feel like a lot of people didn't like that. I didn't like that because I'm like, what, girl, why is you speaking? They didn't ask you a question yet. It's going to be your turn a little bit. Let him speak. Allow him to get it out and clarify things. Like you're acting like this 1.5 year you've been with him is what we know. No, girl, we know Black love. Okay, we know the golden child. Okay, so we know Papoose holding her down, going to jailhouses, holding her down. You know what I mean? So I just feel like Carlos in that moment should have just allowed Pap to kind of lead a little bit. But anyway, that's just my opinion. All right, I'm entitled to my opinion. Okay, so allegedly, my opinion, because I heard she sent Tasha K a cease and desist. There is something where Tasha K is gonna have Carlissa's cousin on her platform, and I'm like, you know what? I can't. Okay, let's talk about these two, right? So basically, 50 Cent, and of course, I love me some 50 Cent. I feel like I fell in love when he did the movie Get Rich or Die Trying. Like, you got shot 9 times and still came back. So, anyway, I do have a really, I have a thing for 50. But anyway, so we all saw that 50 Cent went public with his relationship with Cuban Link. Cuban was like this, she was beautiful, beautiful girl. Beautiful body tea, hair tea, whether it's a wig, braids, natural hair, she's just tea. You could tell, like, when they used to do the videos and stuff like that, personality coming through the camera. So I'm like, 50 Cent got him a good one. We even saw the little exchange between Cuban and Vivica Fox, right, who was his past. So I'm bringing up this conversation today because there have been these rumors, and these rumors are what caused the breakup between these two, because we saw them as, of course, the picture perfect couple, and we know no one is a perfect couple, but that's what they portrayed. And then when they broke up, and everybody went ghost, everybody went silent. So we were like, what really happened here? Now, allegedly, and y'all see the people who are saying it right here on the screen on YouTube, there have been these rumors, not just from the People's Perspective page on Instagram. There have been other sites posting this rumor that Cuban, his ex-girlfriend, asked him for $10,000. Okay? And 50 ain't give it. Now, girl, if you is dating 50 Cent, the first thing you need to do is read that man's book. I think the name of the book is called Hustle Harder. I talk about it a lot here when I talk about 50 Cent, because it gives you an insight into the way that he thinks. 50 is a person. You either a friend or a foe. I don't want no wishy-washy stuff. 50 Cent is a person who don't essentially agree and believe in marriage, because you're not coming into a relationship or into a marriage to get me for all that I got. Read the man's book, get into his mind, understand what you are signing up for before you actually sign up for it. 50 Cent is not a man that's freely giving out money to women, especially no $10,000. Does he have it to give? I think so. But will he give it? No. And allegedly, 50 Cent has responded to these things. And in 50 Cent's defense, he says, I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone who is going to use me. I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone that thinks that I'm just their bank. I'm just there for their money, right? I'm just there to fund their lifestyle. And he also said, if you can't ask your daddy for $10,000, because you asking me for $10,000. And that was my little extra spin on it. But I mean, he kind of has a point there, right? I get it. Men are supposed to be the protector and the provider. And if I come over and I live with you or whatever, and you're providing in that space or whatever, I'm fine. I don't need your money. You know what I mean? I don't need your money. And I do get it. Like, maybe she was in a tight spot and really needed the $10,000. I don't know. It could have been for Botox. I don't know. That's alleged. I don't think she has Botox, but I'm just throwing that out. We don't know what that $10,000 was for. All we know is allegedly 50 Cent didn't want to give it. And I just feel like you have to know the person who you are dating. When she and 50 Cent was dating, I don't know if he was cheating, but you ain't never heard no other women coming out disrespecting Cuban Link. Of course, Vivica Fox tried it and whatever, but there wasn't any romantic relations there. So if you're dating 50 Cent, unlike all these other rappers, there's a little less disrespect that you will go through if he cares and loves you. And that's just something that I've observed, right? He's not having these girls go on live and disrespect you. He's not impregnating this one, that one, and everyone. Like, you have to know that that's not something that will come with dating 50 Cent. But if you are looking for a come up, you're looking for a bag, 50 is not the route to go to. If you are looking for a man to love and all of that other stuff that, he is going to be 50, but essentially he won't embarrass you out here in these streets, go ahead. All right? Because I'm telling you, if you have to look at the men, because you could have went to Diddy. And Diddy probably would have. I saw in a documentary, he FaceTimed this girl and was like, "Oh, you want me to send you $200 million in your account?" Diddy, if you set that money my way, but if that's what the lifestyle that you're signing up for, to accept this money, these millions of dollars, whatever you're looking to accept, understand the lifestyle that you're signing up for. We see the Cassies, we see the free costs, we see all these different other things. So again, assess the men that you're dating and decide which route you want to go. So it sounds like these people have been broken up, but we finally now have an answer to it. 50 said, don't use me. And if your daddy can't do it, don't ask me. All right. So what do you guys think? Was this, and I really would love for you guys to comment either on TikTok or on YouTube, like, was 50 valid in saying, look, I'm not giving her this 10K? Or do you feel like it is indeed what you signed up for? Or was he being cheap by not giving her the 10K? I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts. All right, so this one isn't about celebrities, right? This next topic that we're going to jump into is actually about a Milwaukee judge who has been convicted after jury finds that she helps an alleged criminal migrant avoid ICE's arrest in court, and now she faces 5 years. So if you're watching it on YouTube, you're gonna see, who the person is and what happened with the judge. But essentially, this judge helped this criminal evade ICE, and now she's facing up to 5 years. What?
His attorney in the hallway and walks towards Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan's courtroom. Along the way, he passes plainclothes federal agents who are sitting on a bench. They are there to detain him. After Flores Ruiz walks by, the agents turn to each other and appear to confirm his identity amongst themselves. But a few moments later, Judge Dugan and another judge approach the agents sitting on the bench. A criminal complaint against Dugan later said she was alerted to their presence by a court official. That complaint says during this interaction, Dugan and the agents disagreed over the type of warrant they had to arrest Flores Ruiz. According to the complaint, Dugan ordered the agents to go to the chief judge's office. Video shows her pointing them through a double door. She then turns back to speak with other agents further down the hall and orders them through the doors as well. Shortly after that, with the agents gone from the hallway, Eduardo Flores Ruiz and his attorney exit into the hallway through a different door. As they walk down the hall toward the elevators, they pass another plainclothes federal agent. Neither they nor Judge Dugan seem to have noticed at the time. That agent motions to another to follow Flores Ruiz. Security video shows Flores Ruiz exiting through a basement exit. Upstairs on the 6th floor, the other agents have left the chief judge's office and worked their way downstairs. Flores Ruiz left the building onto 9th Street. Videos of the street shows the agents catching up to him. Flores Ruiz runs across 10th Street while trying to get away, but the agents catch him and arrest him. He meets his attorney in the hall.
Right. So I feel like this is just a drag. Like, I get it. So the judge kind of led y'all in a different direction so that this guy can leave, right? Maybe it's a judge who feel like ICE. What the hell are you doing in this courthouse? Like, these people coming to court already got their own problems. They don't need to be dealing with their own problems plus what you got going on. But nonetheless, if you are what they consider an undocumented, I'm not going to say illegal, if you are an undocumented immigrant, it is something that you face when you do have to go into court or you do get arrested and they run your fingerprints. It is something that you do just have to face. So this judge basically leads the ICE officers in the wrong direction, allows him and his lawyer to leave. But why is she facing 5 years? I get it, intent, but why is she facing 5 years if you guys caught the man? You got him? And I just feel like that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I don't know. Shout out to this judge. Okay, so Idris Elba. Can we just get a moment of silence for how attractive this man is? Okay, he is indeed married, so we aren't gonna have too long of a moment of silence because yeah, he don't want us. But anyway, he has a new wax figure in London, and he went to go check it out. What do you guys think who are watching it on YouTube? Do you think it looks like him?
Look at this guy. Oh my days. That is, I don't know what to say. I am speechless, literally. Wow. Right, hold on. I've got to call my mum, man. She's gonna freak. I got into Madame Tussauds. Can you believe it? Oh my God. That's amazing, man. I'm so happy. Man like Idris, you know.
I love his accent. Fabulous actor. And he definitely deserves a wax figure. If I ever go to London, I'll know where to go. All right, so we did talk about Charlemagne already. I don't know if you guys will be interested in this, but the Billboard is now again moving the goalpost for, you know, the artists, rappers, whatever in the industry and things of that nature. So basically what they're doing, it says YouTube streams will no longer count towards album sales and chart placement on Billboard. And I feel like I don't know who's up there at Billboard and what they're looking at, but every time a song comes out, I go to YouTube. I want to see the visuals. I want to listen to it on YouTube. I don't pay for it. But you know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like that's like not fair to the artist, but that's something. Now, this one. All right. So somebody reported my live. Oh my God. All right. So this live is probably gonna get taken down. All right. So it didn't get taken down. The other day I was live on TikTok and they restricted my live. So whoever is reported my live for like nudity, please don't do that because your girl is not nude. Okay. And I'm not talking about anything inappropriate. Anyway, back to the topic because we are streaming here on YouTube as well. And this will be on the podcast. I'm just a little bit annoyed by the people on TikTok reporting my life. Anyway, so this one with Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. I know when you first see this video, you think how cute. They're in a yoga class. They're bonding together. However, you know how these fans are. What they saw was Cardi B sideburns. And I didn't see Cardi B sideburns until they pointed out to me. But let's just appreciate Cardi and her guy, Stephon Diggs, doing their thing in yoga.
Not you looking hot. Crisscross applesauce.
So they were told to crisscross applesauce in their yoga class. And I just felt like when I saw this, I was like, this is a cute little moment. Like Cardi B and Stephon Diggs doing their yogi together. Like, I love this. Like, I love this meditation. Like, I love it. But the fans saw the sideburns. And yes, I'm like, Cardi B, like, did you forget to like roll the baby hair? Because you know how they be having the baby hair this way, and you're going to see a whole bunch of naps on mine, but because I don't like to do baby hair. So they have the baby hair and they roll it. And I think she forgot to roll it that day. She showered, it went down, and it stayed down. But anyway, let's appreciate Cardi and her new man. All right. So there, according to its on site, there is studies that labels slow texters emotionally unavailable, while fast repliers scored higher in empathy and effort. So I just wanted this to be like a little bit of a discussion or just something that you can think about. Like maybe I am emotionally unavailable because I promise you, you text me, it'll be maybe 3 weeks before I text you back if I do text you back. If you ain't mommy, you ain't daddy, you ain't my child. I don't know. Call me emotionally unavailable. Do I believe this? Not quite. I feel like I am emotionally available for the things that I want to be emotionally available for. And I feel like people who are fast texters, yes, this correlation may be to empathy, but my take on it, and again, this is a study, so of course believe the study, but I'm just saying my experience, separate from the study. So this may be a reflection of more people, but me, I feel like if you're a fast texter, like that would be a representation to me that you're needy. Like, calm it down. Like, why do we have to text so fast? Like, and please don't call me, don't FaceTime me, just wait for the response, but that's just my take on it. All right, so I'm not gonna really play this, but we all kind of, you know what? Let me play it. Let's go back to the incident between Ray J and Princess Love, just in case anyone didn't see it.
Point nothing at y'all.
a gun at us.
Yeah, whatever. You take my kids because y'all drunk. Y'all want to drive drunk? Y'all want to drive drunk? Drive drunk. Drive drunk, princess.
Right, you just
Drive
pointed,
drunk.
You just pointed a gun.
Drive drunk.
You just pointed a gun. At
Drive
us.
drunk, princess. Go ahead. You want to take my kids? You and your drunk cousin? Because y'all drunk as fuck and y'all alcoholics? Take my kids then. Go ahead. Who's gonna drive? Tony, he's been drinking
I'm not
too.
driving.
Who's been driving? Everybody. I didn't point nothing at
You
y'all.
pointed a gun at us.
I didn't point nothing at y'all.
You pointed a gun at us.
Yeah, whatever.
You pointed a gun at us.
You waking my
All right, so because TikTok has already been trying to restrict the live, I'm not gonna really play too much of that. But I just feel like in this situation, because I personally didn't give my take on this. It's first of all, it's never acceptable for any of what is going on here. For Ray J to point his pew pew at his baby mama and his daughter. I feel like that is signs. Those are red flags. It be hitting us in the face and we don't want to see it because we are blind. But I feel like that's a sign. That's a sign of something very, very serious. I get it. There are certain things that, women will ignore when they're in a relationship with a certain caliber of a man, a guy in Hollywood. You may ignore some cheating. You may ignore the kid on the side. You may ignore a lot of little things. But someone, whether they're in Hollywood or Day from down the block, it doesn't matter who it is. Whenever a man do what Princess Love is accusing Ray J of, it is a sign to pack everything you got and get to going. Get to going immediately, because people show you things that people don't just sometimes they do, but people sometimes don't just wake up and do the most heinous things. We see it, like a kid killing his mom and dad, unaliving for TikTok his mom and dad, or a man decided to unalive his wife and kid. I don't feel like these things are just something that, oh my God, he just woke up and do it. No, there are leading signs. Princess Love, the first time we was introduced to Princess Love and Ray J, he pushed her in a pool. And now we've escalated all these years now to him pointing a pew pew at you and your child. I don't think I need to see anything more to see how this thing is going to go. If you want to stick it out, he needs serious help. But I'm not gonna laugh this thing off with Ray J and Princess because you just accused him of some serious stuff. And we don't want to hit the blogs one day. We all sleep and catching our Z's, wake up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, Princess, and something happened with her daughter and Ray J. And I just feel like we need to open our eyes sometimes. And if we're going to stay, push that man to get some help. But anyway, so I guess there is a court order saying that, Ray J doesn't need to be in contact with Princess or his children and things of that nature with his child. And I agree with the judge. I completely agree with the judge. Sorry you won't get to see us for Christmas, but if this behavior continues and you're not rationalizing things, then this can go bad for everyone. Now, with this allegation that Princess is drunk and is about to go and drive with her child, with her drunk cousin, I do feel like if you must get away and you realize that you've had a drink too much, call your mama, call your daddy, call your cousin, your best friend, get you an Uber. There's no reason why you need to be driving, because that in itself can escalate. Something happens while you're driving. They find out that you're driving with a DUI, plus your kid is in the car. That's a whole nother story that you don't want, because Ray J is in trouble for pointing a pew pew at you guys. And then now you are in trouble for, and this didn't happen, but I'm saying if it would have gone left, you are now essentially in trouble for a DUI. Who gets the child? You know what I mean? And I don't think that that's an outcome that we quite think about when we are in these situations. But I hope that Princess is able to, look at this situation and kind of deal with it, in a logical way. Don't let your emotions run the show. Think about this logically. You accused him of some heinous shit. So anyway, moving.
A lot of people that's on the internet.
Okay, so we all know, if you don't, Ebro has been fired from his job. He did claim that, it was due to certain contracts. His higher ups, bosses are trying to do this casino thing, and they can't have him spewing all this political stuff on the radio that may not be in alignment with the investors who are trying to, get these different things approved or whatever. That's kind of what he said. So we now know that Ebro is on YouTube doing his show. And I've given my take on this a lot. I just feel like, Ebro, good luck to you on your journey. And people have been saying that you've been treating them negatively. Treat them better and move on. But this is a clip that he had to say.
And social media, they're not like radio listeners. Right. And I'm a radio kid. I grew up in radio. I've been in radio since I'm 15 years old. Mm-hmm. So, and I've been at High 97 since 2003. Right. In many different capacities. And I think, that audience that listens to morning radio, they're not on social media.
That's the 9-to-5 blue collar.
They might, if they listen, these are teachers and firemen and construction workers, nurses, and working class people who wake up in the morning and they just trying to get a little piece of something, a song or two, talk some shit, laugh, know what's going on in the world. And you might have them for
an anecdote of everything
15 to 20 minutes max.
Right.
They dipping in and out, listening to traffic, weather, and all that type of shit. So, look, I think that's the part of me that's like, damn, those people really meant a lot to me, because that's one of the reasons I kept doing it. We living in a time right now, man, where that's they don't want those voices continuing to shed light. A lot of people that's on the internet.
Right, so the reason why I wanted to kind of talk about this clip is because, like I said, people have been making these allegations against Ebro, saying essentially that he is a little bit elitist, right? He feels like he's in the club, he's the gatekeeper, he's the guy to talk to, and because he has had that belief, according to others, he may have treated other people incorrectly. And this, to me, sometimes when we do speak, they say from the mouth reveals what's in the heart. So for him to operate on this belief that lawyers, doctors, and people who you would consider successful is only tuning in to Ebro in the morning or your morning show on their way to work, and they consume no other form of media, I feel like get a grip. Now, are doctors and lawyers going to be on social media day in, day out, scrolling on live, doing all these things? I mean, some when they're free. And I remember, I remember, you guys know that guy, that doctor on TikTok, and he does all the dances and stuff like that. I can't remember his page. I think he's like Jamaican, Caribbean. He's something, and he's really, really famous for doing his dances. So to operate on this belief that only you alone can reach the audience of people who are lawyers, doctors, and firefighters and all these different people, I just feel like, I feel like we do need to reconstruct that belief and find new avenues to reach said people if that's who you want your demographic to be. I see lawyers on YouTube. They're doing their review. What the titles be saying? Attorney's opinion, or attorney reviews this case, or attorney this, financial analyst from an actual financial this, doctors, oh, here is the opinion of this doctor on how to do this, and you know what, you need vitamin D when this is happening to you, and you need vitamin C when this is happening to you, and you need to do this, and like, to operate on this thing that I just feel like I don't agree with him, and I feel like in a way it did show a little bit of this thing that people have been talking about as it relates to Ebro, because they are on the internet. Matter of fact, they trying to get them come up on the internet too. They trying to do their job on when they go their 9 to 5, and they're trying to also create platforms where they can share the information and knowledge that they know. So to operate on this context that, oh well, these people aren't on the internet, like this is not the
attempting to.
It's not the Stone Age. But anyway, so again, I know people, they be like, oh my God, I don't like Candace, I don't like Candace, and I don't like Candace. I feel like Candace Owens is a girl that sometimes when she speaks, I be like, clock it. And sometimes she speaks, I be like, girl, shut it. Right? And I feel like to not listen to someone because you don't agree with them sometimes is a little bit of a disservice to yourself, because sometimes it is listening to the things that you don't agree with that you do get an insight into certain things, right? That would either disprove your argument or either reinforce your beliefs. So I do feel like listening to people that you don't agree with is very, very good. So with this whole Charlie Kirk, I preface that to say that with this whole Charlie Kirk situation, I've been tuned into Candace. She has been exposing how the media does what they do. And here is the message for Ben Shapiro, who is Candace Owens' ops. And she don't like him, he don't like her. And this is the message. I like to see when Candace read people. Like I just like it. So let me go ahead and listen to her.
Bankrupt me in courts, sending undercover interns to stalk me. He has issued thus far 3 court proceedings, okay, for every solitary petty infraction against things that I say. He's worked with Barry Weiss behind the scenes to have articles written about me. It is nonstop. As you pretend that you care about free speech and debate, I've put up with a lot of it, but today I draw the line. I draw the line with this miserable imp when it comes to Charlie Kirk, okay? Don't try me on this, but you keep trying me on this. You are an imposter, Ben. You're an imposter.
No, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA. Or to mirror her bullshit lines of questioning because you love Candace personally. The same holds true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend, characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them. That is a non-starter. When Candace Owens says, I don't know, but I know, That is retarded. And we are all more retarded for having heard it.
Hold on.
Well, Ben, when it comes to you and having worked with you, I just know the tactics that you use to feign popularity in the public. I just know the amount of money that you are willing to spend on advertising to inflate your numbers to make people think that you're popular. So, yeah, I don't have to say we don't know when it comes to you. You are such a joke of a little man. Your jealousy against Tucker, your ability to believe that you can keep manipulating the markets. You know, those kids booed you on that stage. The amount of messages I got from Turning Point USA people saying, what is happening? Why is he on this stage? Standing against everything that Charlie believed in.
All right. So I'm not gonna get too carried away in her message because some of it I don't personally agree with, and don't want to continue to perpetuate. However, Ben Shapiro, like, that's the black thing. I don't know, but I know that's Candace, the black side that's speaking. All right. We don't know, but you know, okay? You may not understand it, but the other people in the room understood it. Okay. And I just feel like at Candace Owens, with what she has been going through, of course, I don't like to see it because I feel like, like she shouldn't be going through this. You know what I mean? However, it has exposed, the different tactics that they do with, painting her as this miserable person who loved Charlie Kirk just for wanting to investigate into her friend's assassination, painting her, like trying to do these lawsuits and do all these different things to bankrupt her. These are the games that they play when you go against what they are trying to push. And I feel like it exposes why a lot of people don't come out and directly say the thing, because we condemn these celebrities, right? We see it. We condemn these African-American celebrities, and we're like, they never speak out. They never do this. They never do that. I do feel like the system is, I feel like Candace Owens is exposing how the system is weaponized for us, for them to not speak out, right? So that's why I kind of like watching her. I like when she read them. I like when she does a good read, but I also enjoy watching the disillusion of this great media and all these things. All of you guys are being paid. All of you guys got donors. All you guys have some kind of vested interest in some billionaires funding. Like it's just like, okay, now it explains to me why I see this BS on the news, or why I see this coming on my timeline. You know what I mean? So I just kind of like to observe Candace Owens because I feel like she does expose the stupid shit. I've been getting a lot of crazy. All right, so I love Madam Joyce, but I love to watch her content. I was going to talk about her today, but I'm gonna talk about her in the next show because my mouth is dry. I don't know how other podcasters do this. They talk for hours. My mouth is dry. I've drank about 3 glasses of juice since I've been sitting here. But I do want to talk about this situation as it relates to streamer Tylil, and this Jordan situation. I guess it's Jordine. If I'm saying her name incorrectly, I'm sorry. But she has accused Tylil. Let me just run it down for people who don't know. She accused Tylil of sexually assaulting her. She went on. She started to cry. Tylil said, hey, he finally responds. He says, hey, I didn't sexually assault you. Matter of fact, here's the video of you saying what we had was a one-night stand. He plays the video. Matter of fact, you requested $2,000 from me, and when I didn't pay you the $2,000, you went online and made up these false allegations. Matter of fact, if I had sexually assaulted you, when I called you the first Uber, why weren't you up and out of there? Why did you order me to now get you a black truck? So they've both just been going online. As that continues, I think she now has a cease and desist on her. I think Tylil's team sent her this, but she's saying cease and desist. I'm going to speak, and this is what she had to say.
Foot fetish lover, little dick ass nigga sucking on my toes and shit. You a fucking weirdo, nigga. I should have kicked you fucking dead off in the middle of your fucking forehead, nigga.
All right. So I'm not going to play this whole thing. TikTok is going to do what they do, report the live. And of course, YouTube don't like this stuff at all. But if we were able to hear just the first part of that clip, which is what I really wanted us to listen to, you said toe sucking, booty eating, and little eggplant have you described all of this stuff, and you described it. I don't know. Like, again, I'm not saying that she can't be a victim of sexual assault, but if I was sexually assaulted, that's not kind of how I would describe it. Eating toes, booty. I don't know. And again, if I am wrong, guys, tell me I am wrong. I just feel like if I was sexually assaulted, I don't, you know what? I haven't been in her experience or in her shoes. So I don't want to, because they love to tell you, oh, you're a victim blaming. No, I'm logically reading the situation, reading the room. And I may not have been essayed by some adult, but I think majority of people have gone through some uncomfortable freaking experience. And when we do, and I'm going to just speak the truth here, when we do go through these uncomfortable experiences, we don't have time to describe it the way that you're describing it, because normally it's a very, very horrific thing, and a lot of us don't even come out and speak about it. So when people do come out and speak about it, that's not the way that they describe it, in my opinion. I feel like this young lady, and again, my opinion, allegedly, I was not there that night. However, you have brought this to the media with saying this allegation against this man, and you omitted all the other things, right? You never gave us a timeline. You came to the media, oh my God, he did this, and and I'm gonna move on, right? And you can't just accuse somebody of that. Right. And then when he comes and he pulls receipts and he pulls your card, right? And you do have a cease and desist. So you could have just said, I said I'm going to leave it to the police and leave it to all these different people to rectify this case and get me the justice that I need. You don't. You get online and you talk about his foot fetish and all the sexual things he was doing to you. Like, if you're going to get online and lay it out. This is what happened. And I just feel like this is not, to me, the response of someone who was essayed. But again, I'm no doctor. I'm no psychologist. Just giving my opinion here on the internet. And again, I like to talk to God. God, whoever is wrong in this situation, please let it be revealed and bring truth to the situation. And I'm going to just move on. I'm going to just move on from this situation. Anyway, let's talk Chrisean. Chrisean is, according to Tasha K, says that she is back in college and she is training for boxing. Remember earlier on in the show, I told y'all that Ryan Garcia and her had a little thing. Now she back in school. She working out. She's training for boxing.
Guys, guess who? Guess who helped me re-enroll today in schools?
Yep.
He was such an angel. I can't wait. And yes, I'm going back to Santa Monica College. Shout out to the best.
All right. So I love to see it, right? I feel like if you are going to box and you are going to beat people up, at least get paid millions for it. Jake Paul, he just got knocked the hell out, and people made a lot of money off of that. So if you are going to do the thing that you enjoy to do and you are clearly good at it, hence the Compton videos, then get paid to do it, right? Baddies, we could kind of leave baddies, right? So I like to see her on this track. I feel like when we do see Chrisean, it is in a negative light. It's blueface, it's tattoos, it's drugs while she's pregnant. It's a lot of other things. So when someone does do something positive for their life and they're trying to go in a new direction, let's reward them with a congratulations and a high five, because we love to see it. And I'm rooting for her. I want her to definitely, get going. And talk to Ryan because Mr. Ryan Garcia, there is some chemistry there.
Yes,
okay, this one. All right, so let me explain. So, do you guys know Lakia? Lakia, it's the girl who sings the song Mind Your Business. And I don't want TikTok, and not TikTok, I don't want YouTube to like thing there, but let me just, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna play a little bit of it just so you guys know who I'm talking about. It was her, Lakia, and Lotto. I feel like she's a rapper who have a lot of potential as well, but hasn't really seen the success that she deserves. So let me play it real quick. There's probably gonna be an ad. Yeah, there's an ad. All right. Okay. Let me turn it up a little bit. Right. So now that we got an idea as to who we are talking about, that young lady, the girl who sings that song. So that young lady, like I said, she has a lot of potential. I feel like she knows how to rap. She knows how to do her thing. She has everything but the success, and it's sometimes very confusing. But like I guess it's not about talent. It is about talent, but it also has to be making something that the audience like, right? So I hope that Lakia does, do successful things because she definitely has the talent for it. Anyway, let's get into the mixy stuff. We do know, those who have been keeping track of Lakia and her career thus far, that she allegedly had girlfriends. Now, I don't know her sexuality. Maybe she's bisexual. I don't know. But I've been privy to the fact that it's always been girlfriends and she didn't like men or something. I don't know. I heard it somewhere. So this is just, but it was rather surprising to me when this young lady accuses Lakia of getting her jumped because of Lakia's boyfriend. So Lakia has a boyfriend. I wasn't keeping up with her. She has a boyfriend, and now she's allegedly being accused of jumping this girl. So let's hear what this girl got to say.
Lakia was part of the jumping, yes. She literally was part of the jumping, y'all. She was literally part of the jumping. And you know what I did? I had my hands twisted. I would not let her hand. Her little friend Milana kicked me. But it's like, Milana, look here, you knew I was going to do a pic collage and post it on my Instagram too. You deleted all the photos of you and Milana clothes off your page. You was quick. I love you for that. I like, bitch, you mad because I like this picture? She be going around telling people she like my man pictures. Your man, show me something that's worth calling him your man. You still driving the fucking Range Rover P bought you. Bitch. That's bitch. And your friend that jumped in.
Okay, well, hold on. We had a video. All right. So this is what's been going on. Now, I don't know. Like, how old is Lakia? Let me look at that. Right. I'm sorry. Because I don't want to say something and she's very, very young. And, this is something that I probably would have done at her age because I'm not going to throw. Okay, she's 24. She's young. All right. So this behavior is understandable. She's not in her 30s. She's not in her 40s. She's 24. This is what 24-year-olds do. Right? I love him. And you see the girl that you think he likes, she likes him or whatever, and you with your girls and you want to fight, right? It's I feel like she's at the age of, I'm gonna come to you as a woman. She's at the age of, I'm gonna do these things and find it very cute, right? Not saying that she finds it cute. I'm just saying people at her age, especially me when I was at that age, I thought that shit was cute. However, being someone who's older now, You couldn't get me to fight over nobody. These hands ain't touching not a single soul, especially over a man. My child, definitely. But a man on this planet Earth, me fight over him? Absolutely not. And I feel like even though Lakia does have this age where she's at, I feel like she needs more people in her corner who would be able to mentor her and tell her, like, this is not what you should be doing. Like, we have a really big career ahead of us. Fighting other girls over some guy is not the way to go. Cardi B was just in court about the same thing that happened. I mean, did Cardi win? That's Cardi win a case B, okay? However, she was just in court the other day, right before her album release, for some of the same things, right? Fighting some girl it was security, I don't know what it was. But for this essentially the same thing, being in the club, seeing some girl, having your man, and fighting. If not you fighting, sending your girls to fight. I just feel like, girl, like you gotta look at certain things and just be like, I'm above it. Like, if you don't like me, okay, fine. If you like my man, okay, fine. If that man is cheating, I'll deal with the man. No reason why I need to be putting my hands on another woman or orchestrating my friends doing that to somebody else. I feel like it shows that you feel threatened by this girl. And I think that is a better thing to explore. Because if you didn't feel threatened by this young lady, you wouldn't have even cared to even glance in her direction. So there's something, whether in Lakia's relationship or something that her boyfriend is doing, I don't know, because I'm not there when they under the sheets, but there is something that is not making her feel secure in her relationship. So she and her friends decided to beat the girl up. Anyway, that's what's been going on. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys like this stuff? I know some people, like, they tune into baddies just to kind of see the fights. And I just be like, I get it. Like, I used to really enjoy the Bad Girls Club, again, when I was at Lakia's age, when I was, like, in my teens and in my early 20s. But, like, the Bad Girls Club had some substance. I feel like this is like Baddies Part 2. Like, there's no substance to it. But yeah. This is Peach McIntyre and her beefing with, let's listen to it.
And discredit me when I gave you your flowers. And I didn't continue to bring up your name. You continued to mention, you loved when they said, Queen Leora did it first. Queen Leora did it first. Queen Leora did it first. I'm sure you saw it because you stalked my motherfucking page. In your dreams, so after a while, watching a bitch get their hair done is quite boring. Pause to read the motherfucking receipts. See, when it was just Peach, everybody on the internet was saying Peach wasn't worth it, and stylists would be crazy to pay to do somebody's hair, anybody's hair, not just mine, but anybody's hair. That's crazy. But after Peach McIntyre started to do it, only charging $123.23. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you got them 23 cents. 23 on the dot. I love that. Yeah. And we got to see results in real time. And it became cool. And that Longfoot old lady wanted to copy me. My hair like Peaches on TikTok. Now all of a sudden Queen Leora did it first. Queen Leora did it first. Queen Leora did it first. And now you love what Peach and Tia is doing. But you never loved what Peach was doing. Interesting. But what I don't understand is why you continue.
I have to say, I don't know. They don't get the same grace or hall pass that Lakia gets. Like, meet Peach McIntyre. You're an auntie. Like, you are up there. The maturity level, like, Peach and Tia Kemp, they are going to get down every time. They ready to boogie all the time. They want all the smoke. And I'm just like, where do you guys have this energy from? Especially Peach, and this is no shade to her, but your situation over there should be pretty busy to get online. And this is no shade. I have a daughter, and I promise you, when me and her chilling, like I can't do much else. Don't expect me to do much else. And I have one. You know what I mean? So I just feel like Peach, like getting on the internet doing this petty back and forth. Well, I get it, content, you get paid and blah blah blah, but I feel like continue to be innovative and do other stuff to create content instead of responding and being immature. But yeah, we know this back and forth has been going on between Peach McIntyre, Tia Kemp, and now the hairstylist. And I don't know, I feel like it's kind of bad for business, Peach. Like you're doing your YouTube, you're doing all these different, content platforms and stuff like that. You've now segued into being a model for hairstylists. Arguing with the hairstylist is not good for business. Keep it professional, keep it cute, and move on. But that's the drama that has been going on there. I think that's all we have for today. At least we got through it, because last night, I kid you not, I was like, no, I'm going to bed. I cannot talk for literally this long. So that's what we have for today. Discussed many various topics, and YouTube, I am going to be signing out. I love you guys on YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Yeah. All right.